Have you ever felt betrayed or hurt by someone you cared about? When a woman you trusted broke your heart, questioned your worth, and rejected your love, do you worry about how you're going to move forward and get over that heartbreak? It's not just about the pain you've been given. It's about taking control of your emotional life and learning how to rise above the hurt. In today's video, we'll reveal the secrets to how to handle a woman who has hurt you, broken your trust, and rejected your love. If you're tired of being stuck in emotional turmoil, we'll help you regain your strength, move forward, and never feel weak again with powerful real-world strategies. If you're ready to rise up and start building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself, you should definitely watch the full video. By the end, you'll understand why seeking attachment is a trap, how to stop reacting emotionally, and why distance is your secret weapon. We'll dive deep into how focusing on your growth can shift power dynamics, and how forgiving, but never forgetting, can free you from the chains of bitterness. So stay tuned, because these insights could change your emotional game forever. Let's dive in and reclaim your peace. Stop seeking closure. It's a trap. When a woman hurts you, the first instinct is to demand answers. Why did she do this? What went wrong? Was I not enough? You keep replaying the situation in your mind, looking for clues, hoping she'll give you the explanation that will bring you peace. But here's the harsh truth. Seeking closure is often an illusion. Most of the time, the answers you seek will never satisfy you. Even if she gives you a reason, it won't undo the pain. In many cases, she might not even give you a real answer. She might lie, shift blame, or tell you what she thinks you want to hear. Worse, she might avoid the conversation altogether, leaving you stuck in an endless loop of what-ifs. But here's where your power lies. You don't need her to give you closure. Real closure comes from within. It's not about getting an explanation. It's about accepting what happened and deciding to move forward without needing her validation. Think about it. Do you really want to give her that much power over your emotions? The more you chase closure, the more control she has over you. And the more control she has, the longer you stay trapped in pain. Instead of chasing an answer that might never come, shift your mindset. Accept that not everything in life comes with a satisfying explanation. Recognize that people hurt others for their own reasons, reasons that have nothing to do with your worth. Understand that holding on to the need for closure only keeps you emotionally attached to someone who doesn't deserve that space in your mind. The best move: walk away without looking back. Your silence will say more than words ever could. The moment you stop seeking closure is the moment you take back control of your life. And that's when true healing begins. Do not react emotionally. Maintain your frame. When a woman hurts you, your first instinct might be to react emotionally. Maybe you feel anger boiling inside, a deep sense of betrayal, or even an urge to make her understand how much she has hurt you. You might want to lash out, demand answers, or prove your worth to her. But here's the truth. The moment you react emotionally, you lose control. Women are incredibly intuitive. They can sense when a man is emotionally weak, and once they see you losing control, their respect for you starts to fade. If you explode in anger, she'll label you as unstable. If you beg for her attention, she'll see you as desperate. If you try to guilt-trip her, she'll only feel more justified in walking away. Every emotional reaction you give her feeds into her power over you. That's why maintaining your frame is non-negotiable. Your frame is your emotional stability, your ability to stay calm, composed, and in control, no matter what happens. A high-value man doesn't allow external events to dictate his inner peace. He doesn't let a single person's actions shake his confidence or self-worth. So when she hurts you, master the art of detachment. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a step back. Pause, breathe, observe. Don't argue, don't plead, don't try to prove anything. Just remain centered and let your silence speak for itself. If she expects you to crumble, shock her with your unshakable composure. If she anticipates a reaction, deny her that satisfaction. Make her wonder why you're so unfazed. This is what makes a man truly powerful, when his emotions are his own, not controlled by someone else. The moment you master this, you become the kind of man who commands deep respect, even from those who once underestimated you. Distance yourself. Make her feel your absence. Imagine this. You've always been there for her. No matter what she did, how she treated you, or how much she pushed you away, you stayed. You texted first. You tried to fix things. You showed her that you cared. But what did that get you? More pain, more disrespect, and less value in her eyes. Now, it's time to flip the script. It's time to do what most men fail to do. Walk away and let her feel the emptiness you leave behind. The biggest mistake men make when they get hurt by a woman is clinging to the situation instead of creating distance. They keep reaching out, hoping for a response, hoping for closure, hoping that she'll suddenly realize how much they mean to her. But here's the truth. As long as you're available, she won't miss you. As long as you keep giving her your energy, she won't feel the consequences of her actions. That's why you must remove yourself completely. Stop calling, stop texting, stop engaging. If she hurt you, let her sit with that reality. When you disappear, she won't have access to your validation, your attention, or your emotional support. And trust me, that void will be felt. At first, she may not care. She might even feel relieved. But as time passes, she'll start to wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Why isn't he reacting? That's when the power dynamic shifts. And here's the best part. You're not just creating distance for her, you're creating it for yourself. This is your chance to regain control over your emotions, rebuild your confidence, and focus on becoming a better version of yourself. Work on your fitness, level up your mindset, chase your passions, and show the world that you're a man who thrives, with or without her. Because at the end of the day, a woman only values what she fears losing, and when you distance yourself, not as a game, but as a genuine act of self-respect, you force her to see your worth in a way she never did before. Focus on your growth. Shift the power dynamic. Imagine this. You've just been hurt, and the pain feels unbearable. You're tempted to reach out, to fix things, to find answers. But here's the reality. Nothing will shift unless you shift first. In the midst of hurt, it's easy to lose sight of the most powerful tool you have, your own growth. It's hard to see past the emotional turmoil and hurt, but the truth is, focusing on your personal growth is the key to regaining control in any situation, especially when someone has hurt you. The world rewards men who focus on their own path, their own purpose, and their own journey. When you invest in yourself, whether it's your physical health, career, skills, or mindset, you create a future that's strong, independent, and built on your terms. This shift from emotional vulnerability to personal strength doesn't just change how you feel about the situation. It transforms how the world sees you, including her. Too often, men make the mistake of investing all their emotional energy into the relationship, wondering what went wrong, replaying every interaction in their mind. This is a trap that keeps you stuck in the past and drains your sense of self. The true power comes from turning that energy inward. When you stop focusing on the hurt and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, you immediately change the game. You create momentum that no one, not even her, can ignore. As you focus on your growth, you begin to reclaim your personal power. You stop seeking her validation and approval, and in doing so, you make yourself more attractive, not just to her, but to the world around you. A man who is focused on his goals, his fitness, his career, and his future isn't just someone who's getting over it. He's someone who is creating a life that's beyond anyone's control. And that is magnetic. When she sees that you're thriving without her, when she realizes that your happiness and success are not dependent on her, the balance of power shifts. She begins to feel the absence of your energy, and that's when she starts to question everything, her decisions, her actions, and what she truly wants. But remember, this isn't about playing games or trying to make her jealous. This is about owning your growth and transforming yourself into a man who doesn't need validation, because he's already validated by his own progress and success. In the end, your growth becomes the silent message that speaks louder than words ever could. It's the message that tells her you're not just surviving, you're thriving, and that's something no one can ever take away from you. Forgive, but never forget. Let's be real for a moment. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending that the hurt never happened. It doesn't mean you should forget the pain or act like it didn't affect you. Forgiveness is about letting go of the emotional weight that keeps you chained to the past. When someone hurts you, it's easy to fall into a cycle of resentment, bitterness, and regret. But in order to move forward and truly heal, you have to forgive, not for them, but for yourself. Forgiving someone doesn't mean excusing their behavior or diminishing the impact of their actions. It's about releasing the hold that anger and bitterness have on your heart. The real strength comes from the ability to move on, to choose peace over lingering resentment. When you hold on to that anger, it's like carrying a heavy burden that you never asked for, one that weighs down your soul and blocks your potential. But when you forgive, you free yourself from that burden. You free yourself from the need to get revenge, from the need to make them feel the pain you felt. You take your power back. However, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. Forgetting is a trap that leads you to repeat the same mistakes. When you forget, you leave yourself vulnerable to the same hurt again. Forgiveness allows you to release the emotional toxicity, but remembering the lesson empowers you to protect yourself in the future. It's about keeping the wisdom without the weight. By forgiving, you reclaim your peace, but by remembering, you build boundaries that ensure you don't put yourself in a position to be hurt again. When you forgive but never forget, you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The lesson is learned, and you no longer approach relationships with the same naive trust or vulnerability that led you into the situation in the first place. You allow yourself to grow beyond the hurt, to learn from it, and to protect your heart moving forward. In a way, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a gift of emotional freedom, strength, and clarity. You stop allowing the past to dictate your present, and you take back control of your life. But remembering the lesson gives you the insight to navigate future relationships with greater wisdom and self-respect. You don't forget the pain, but you transform it into power, and that makes all the difference. In the end, handling a woman who hurts you is not about seeking revenge or staying stuck in the past. It's about reclaiming your power, protecting your emotional well-being, and evolving into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. When you stop seeking closure, you learn to accept the reality of the situation and stop letting unresolved emotions dictate your life. By not reacting emotionally, you maintain control over your own responses, ensuring that you don't fall into manipulative patterns. When you distance yourself, you make her feel your absence, allowing her to reflect on what she's lost. Focusing on your growth shifts the power dynamic in your favor, showing her that you can thrive without her. And finally, by forgiving but never forgetting, you free yourself from the burden of bitterness while ensuring that you're never vulnerable to the same pain again. These steps, when embraced, lead to emotional freedom, empowerment, and self-respect. You'll learn to prioritize your own peace, set healthy boundaries, and ultimately become the best version of yourself. You'll stop being at the mercy of someone else's actions and start taking control of your own emotional journey. This mindset shift not only protects your heart, but strengthens your future relationships, whether they are romantic, professional, or personal. However, if you ignore these lessons, you risk remaining stuck in cycles of emotional turmoil and vulnerability. You might continue to seek closure that will never come, react impulsively in ways that harm your self-respect, and end up trapped in a relationship where you give more than you receive. Without distancing yourself and focusing on growth, you'll stay emotionally tied to someone who doesn't deserve your energy. And by failing to forgive, you'll carry bitterness that can hold you back from experiencing true peace and happiness. So, if you found this video helpful and want to learn more about building emotional resilience and taking control of your relationships, like, comment, and subscribe to stay connected. Keep evolving, and remember, your peace and power are always in your hands.